Hi, my name is Travis Austin,
And this is Nathan Kurtz.
and we work with the New Boundary Technologies Support Department. Today, we're going to talk about Prism Asset Management, specifically scan configurations and managed categories. Nathan?
So, scan configurations and managed categories have to do with the information that is collected when performing an inventory scan. So, when you perform an inventory scan, either manually or setting a schedule, one of the options that is available is to choose what configuration you are using. The default option is the default scan configuration. So what does the default scan configuration pull in regards to what information about the machine? So if we edit the default scan configuration, we can see that the software information that we gather has to do with exe and com files, and then we are also ignoring particular folder paths on the machine that we do not want to scan for exes or com files.
Nate, why might we want to ignore certain folder structures when scanning for software?
So one reason for us to ignore certain folder paths is that application setups oftentimes place entries in various parts of the folder structure that would make a scan of that machine appear to have that application installed multiple times, even though that application really is just installed once.
Oh, cool.
And then additionally, the list of WMI calls that we are making to list information about the hardware of the machine is shown on the Hardware tab. Now, if you wanted to add either WMI calls to the hardware information that we collect, or add particular file types, or add additional locations of the folder structure to ignore, you can either edit the default scan configuration, or you can also make your own.
Nate, give me an example of a WMI call that I might want to make.
So an example would be that with Dell machines, they typically have service tag information that is entered into the WMI namespace information that might be something that you would want to pull into your hardware scan. Now, when looking at the information shown on the hardware subtab here, one column to notice is the category. And what the category information on this screen represents is when looking at the hardware subtab of the Manage tab, we can see the WMI information broken down into different categories.
So I could make a category called service tag and then add that as something that gets collected?
Indeed. So if you wanted, you could make the category service tag, and then when you added that WMI call to the hardware subtab, you would then have the ability to specify that you wanted that information gathered to show up in its own heading in the hardware subtab.
And that would occur after you did another inventory.
After the next inventory occurred, that information would populate.
Well, that's cool. Excellent. Well, this is our video concerning Prism Asset Manager and scan configuration and managed categories.